Hey, welcome everybody to the Field Service office hours. This is a place for us to practice new features that have come out in Salesforce Field Service and also troubleshoot some things that we've tried, help each other with certain use cases and what are the best ways to deploy a particular use case. Some of the things that we wanted to deliver in our time together, we're going to spend 2 months together. Really, my goal is what is the best way to set up field service in the shortest amount of time, showcasing all of the features that they've got. And then when you kick off a discovery call or when you're working on an implementation with a customer, how do you showcase the pros and cons of each one of the tools? And eventually I'm going to get into Agent Force and the Einstein Field Service stuff slowly but surely, because I also have to figure out how the darn things work. So, of course, we're all here learning together. Sometimes we'll be joined by Salesforce people, sometimes we won't. So if we do, we are so lucky to have them because they will help flatten the learning curve for us. And if they don't, then we'll see them another time and ping them in other sessions. But they are awesome to free up their free time, or not even free, but availability, because they've got so many things going on too. So they hop on. Thank you for being here to support us in our learning journey. These are the rules of engagement. Where we're going today is I wanted to show you some of the various data capture flows that I've been playing with, in addition to comparing it to a quick action flow and a work plan flow. Go. Last week, where are you? Phone? All right. I'll have to figure that out. Of course. It's used 2 minutes ago it works, and then now it doesn't. As it does. Okay, bear with me. Oh, okay. So what? Turn it off and on again? Yes. You can see the phone screen, right? All
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. As a recap of all the things that we set up, I'm going to just go into the org again and show you the work order. So on the work order, there is a new junction object called forms. The API name is called, I think it's dynamic forms. And once you put the forms on the page layout, you can add an action definition, which only displays data capture flows that are active. So you would select the data capture flow that you would like for this particular form, and then you can choose what execution order you'd like it to be in. And I don't know what the status is for this, but you can identify if it's required or not. But the idea is you can set as many forms up as you want on a work order. You can have a flow that will add the forms to the work order on create. I don't know if there's anything out of the box that automatically adds the forms, but we can look into that. I haven't tested that yet. Yeah, so we've got these forms. Now, the related list is available on the work order, and it's also available on the service appointment I discovered. I also have a service appointment check-in flow. I really wanted to understand what the data model difference is, like what's the pro and the con for mapping a form to a service appointment versus a work order. This is where we just build it and try it out and see what happens. The other thing that I did to prepare for this particular scenario was I did add a work plan to this work order, because I've got a check-in flow that launches a screen flow, which basically would look and feel exactly like a data capture. So I wanted to again, compare and contrast all of the tools that we have available to us for collecting data when out in the field, and then it can also update that data back to the records. The last thing that I did was create a field service mobile action. So I have a site check-in here. It's scoped to the service appointment. And again, look at what it's like to run the exact same thing, but from the action tray. So I thought, because I was like, what do I use when? And what's the pro and con? And I brought me back to when I would go to my grandpa's hardware store, and then he would just show me all the tools, and like he was repairing like a screen on a window. And he's like, yeah, and you have to know all the tools and how to use them before you even use them. So this is me trying to understand all of the tools before I use them. So thank you, Grandpa. We will follow his sage advice. All right. Okay. One thing that I didn't check first is, or I didn't modify, was I made all the forms public. So I don't want to mess around with like sharing rules. The other thing that I had to do, because in this org, I thought it was public, but it wasn't. All my work plans were private. So when I launched this, you'll see if the work plan is not shared with you, the work plan tab goes away. I'm like pointing at my phone. The work plan tab goes away. So anyways, I don't have that issue with forms or I haven't bumped into that yet because it was always public. So I'm making an assumption that if there aren't any forms, there would be no form tab, or if you didn't have access to the form, there would be no form tab. The same kind of experience as work plan. So I haven't tinkered with that yet. Oh, one more rule, jump in. This is don't be polite. Interrupt me. If there's something that you want me to go over, all the things.
Do you think you have control over what shows up there? I see it's the API names. Look a little T.
Oh, 100%. So I put that on there so that I knew what the hell I was doing and where it was coming from. So I added this. So yes, exactly. It's kludgy. It's ugly. Good catch. Thank you. Yeah. So I added this one, but these are pretty cute. I don't know what other fields they made cute, but the action definition, they did not. Kludgy is the right word. All right. Okay. Form. I'm going to resume it because I just launched it to see if it would work because I've been playing with this darn thing all morning. All right. So I put in these values, these displays, because again, am I even grabbing the right data points? I don't know. So this is, again, our way of just checking, yes, you are grabbing the right record ID. So the very first thing that we learned last week was that because this is built like Flow on the same Flow platform, we no longer have access to the ID, user ID. There was one more that we would get for free. I can't remember what it is with the mobile Flow app. So now
was it parent ID?
It was parent ID. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Those are gone now. We have record ID again, based off of flows. So we have to use record, capital I, lowercase d. And we get the work order. So I scoped this to the work order. And then I thought, okay, let's do a service note. Hello from data capture. And I can do a check-in. I have not tested defaulting it to formula fields yet. Again, first things first, does it even work? And then I want to go in and layer more things. So just at that 2 fields, I did used to have a pick list value here. It didn't work, like something about the flow broke. And then I also had the signature and it also broke. So I feel like once I have it working, I want to then go and add a component. Okay, now how does that look? Okay, then add the next component. What does that look like? So that's where I wanted to go today. We'll see where we get at the end of it because I want to compare the 3 experiences, right? So let's say, oh, one last thing. If you'll notice this view, like it's like a little bit sharper. Doesn't it look a little bit different from the mobile flows already? Like you can see that the UX has changed a lot. So there is a difference in the way that they designed this data capture screen from a UI perspective. So I'm going to just finish it. Oh, thank God it worked. Okay. And then let's just make sure that, okay, now it's completed. Cannot redo a form. You can re-add a form and then push it down, but you cannot redo a form. You also cannot print a form, create a PDF out of a form. Those two things are coming. I don't know timeline wise, but that is expected to be on the roadmap, safe harbor. But yeah, that's the thing. I just want to show you, let's just see if this works. Because this is a sales demo org, like a solution engineer created one of these forms. So this is what they were playing with. This is like these checkboxes are pretty cool. And you can like add some notes. And then you can add photos. So I have not gone through to see like how does this data map back, because this is an SEO. They really just put the screen on there to show what it looks like. It doesn't actually do anything. So it's not tied to anything. Let's just take a look at the vehicle inspection just to see all of the components that they put on there. Like they made it look pretty nice. There's no dynamic anything either. If you do this, then this shows up. So that's not available yet. So I'm just going to X out of here. Both of them are now in progress. Okay, so that's a form. Now, let's just validate. Did the data actually save in my service note there? Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay, so I've got it mapped to the description. So yay, we can save some data. That's awesome. I think I've got like a start date and time here too. I don't know if it's on the page layout. S- 95% sure we mapped that. Where's the work order? Yeah, work start. It just might not be on the page layout. Nope. Where's status? Okay. I'm gonna have to change. Yep. Okay. Yay. That worked. Don't you love when it works? Okay. Now, what I want to show you is what the form looks like on the service appointment. I don't, you have to click on this darn thing and then click view detail. So it's not like the action tray where it smushes all of the work order actions and the service appointment actions into one section. No, I had to go here and had to go to the forms here and then launch the flow from here. And I don't know if this is going to work because I didn't test it. Yeah, something went wrong with the get work order. So something to play with. Now I'm back at the work order. So now I want to walk through the work plan option and then the actions option. So we liked work plans, right? So now the question is, do I pull out all of these forms that I have on my work plans? Also, can I just have my form just be part of my work plan? Can't, instead of it launch the check-in flow, can I launch the data capture flow? So that's supposed to be on the roadmap, mapping an action, the action, what do they call it? For the work step, the defined action can be a data capture type. So also on the roadmap. But these work plans and work steps, customers like them. And as you can see here, I didn't map my data properly because I have no SA or work order ID. So there's something up with my flow I got to fix. But, and as you can see, like the form looks different, right? Like it was like full boxes around the data input sections, and the layout just looked a little bit nicer on the data capture. So that's the key difference between these two. Let's just see this fail. Oh, that's not expected. I totally thought an error would happen there. Let's see if any data updated. Oh my God, it did. It worked. That's the best. Totally not expected. I'm not surprised. Oh, I know. I will tell you the emotional roller coaster of learning new technology or new features. I'm like, I suck. I actually suck. Maybe I should change careers. Like, I don't think it's working. I was so worried. I'm like, I can't believe it. But anyways, okay, last one, actions. Okay. Remember back in the day when we were like, when we didn't have work steps and we were like, we want things to be in a certain order because the texts, they follow step 1, step 2, step 3. So we would like put a number in front of the action. Remember we had to do that? Like, the hope is that this is now sorted alphabetically, but I think there was like a requirement where you could order them. But anyways, I haven't even dug into that recently. Can I rearrange these and just have it override? But it is a little bit full. And I do remember technicians were like, I would just love it to be one of these 3 things here. I hate how I have to pull the drawer all the way to the top and then scroll to see all of the things. So I get the pushback or the resistance or the, I don't know, the dissatisfaction with the action tray. But I don't know. Anyways, I guess because I'm so used to having the flexibility of having both of them here. It doesn't matter if it's a work order or service appointment. I've got like the actions are for both. But anyway, so here's the service appointment one. Same look and feel as the work step because it's the same flow, except for that one part in the work step part where you have to actually grab the work step first. So there's no work step ID here. Okay, let's see. Am I doing it? These are new too, like the toast alerts, like that. They updated that format too.
So can I stop it 1 second?
Go in.
So what you just showed, the actions,
Mhm.
that's from an app extension.
Didn't
True.
work.
Did not.
So this did not update. So let's just validate. Let's refresh and make sure. And then let's make sure there's no data. Doesn't look like it. There would be like something.
Thought it was on the service appointment. Was it not?
You're the best. You're the
Yeah.
best. Thank you. Yes. Oh, yes. Say that again. So,
So
Bruce.
this mobile
Mhm.
action is scoped here as an app extension, an Epic
App
mobile thing,
extension.
right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
the other
Here it
way
is. Mhm.
something can get there is if it is a field service mobile flow that is
Mhm.
on the page layout as a
Ah,
button, I think.
let's do it. Mhm.
So that's like the 4th way, but it will show up twice if it is an app extension and a button that way.
Mhm.
Why would you surface it as a button? The reason is if you've engineered that flow to accept ID or record ID, so you process the same business logic, whether it's on desktop or mobile. It's a good thing to do, but it is an annoyance where oh no, it might show up twice. And then you delete the app extension. And then if someone deletes it from the page layout, you're at their mercy of never running it at all.
100%. Pending record action. Okay, let's add it to the page layout. Then this was like a bug that
Right.
turned into a feature
Yeah.
kind of thing. Mhm.
And I think it's only going to do good things for you if you try and run it from desktop, if it is sitting there waiting for ID or record ID. So your flow's got to change inside, but there are some real benefits if there's like complex business logic that you need running from the mobile context, and you want that same logic to be seen from desktop. The presentation might be a little different here and there, but if it's running exactly the same logic, it worked on mobile, going to work different input on desktop.
Yep. I like that a lot. Thank you. Now, just cleared my cache metadata and we're loading again. And I'm expecting to see it twice. So one will be record action. Let's just see. So this is the new downloads screen, which is awesome. And data capture is the last thing to sync through. So I'm going to just load this up, thinking that I'll see two. I don't. I'll just also maybe just wait until it's done.
Yes, sometimes layout changes, right? You got to log out, set the phone down, walk
Yeah,
away for 10 minutes.
I was gonna say I've had more trouble with the cleared metadata thing not working as well as it used to since they've updated. Like used to that worked on everything,
gosh.
and now I'm having to log out more than
Yeah,
I used to.
yeah. It sounds like this might be one of those scenarios.
Which took me a lot of beating my head on the wall to figure that out, but
Yeah, that doesn't always work either. We still okay. So yeah, record action exists on the page layout. So Mhm. Yeah, so might have to just wait a while for that one. So based off of what we've seen so far, like we've got three different ways. So I tend to, like in the discovery session early on, like, let me back up, right? So during the sales cycle, we talk to the customer. We want to understand what are your business processes? What data do you collect when you're out in the field? Do you hear about all of the forms that they use, the processes that they have, when they collect data, at what status, that kind of stuff. Who fills it out? Does it need a signature? Do you need images? You get all your requirements. And then I tend to just build something really quick. And the service appointment starter kit had its standard flows that they would add. So I would always just install that right away just so that I had some flows that I could pre-display and just say, this is some basic stuff. And maybe I'll adding a photo so that they can see what that experience is like. But it sounds like to me, like we now to compare between the before was, do we want to do this in a work plan or do we want to do this in an action or a mobile action? Now we've got this third option. Is it a form or is it? So comparing the three different types, I think would be helpful for a client to understand what's better served.
I think with the grandpa examples, like knowing all those tools, they each might
Mhm.
have their own place. I've got something ad hoc to report. You don't want that form experience where it's like, oh, you already did that.
And
You don't want to curtail that might be best suited as an action, a flow that you can run any number of times.
yeah,
Um,
that's a good point. The other limitation too, speaking of tools, the are limitations of a tool. Right now, the data capture flow does not allow for a collection of records. So if you wanted to collect data for all of the assets on a site or for all of the work order line items that you have on a work order, they don't offer that capability. So like a table kind of form, which we love if data table was just form friendly or mobile friendly. I don't know how that's going to ever be possible, but that's the thought. Because field service people work with a lot of records. So that's one limitation that exists at the moment right now. So my usual gut tells me, or my usual gut, whatever the language is, or my instinct is always, I'd rather just know what the new feature is and see where it's going and then just show that to the client to say, this is the direction. I don't like to recommend implementing new capabilities until it's been beyond 20% built or 40% built or whatever it is that we would call this. But for a basic use case, it seems like it could be okay. I guess the challenge I would have is just like until we get the PDF, I just don't know what the value of that form would be truly yet. Does anybody see any use case for using forms this stage in the game?
Could it be because it's such a nifty UI? That's something where you pivot the screen and this is for customer input.
Oh, that might be interesting. Yeah. The other thing like that I wasn't totally sure of too. Oh, let me show you the flow. You will get a kick out of the flows. I guess I don't have a flows tab open because the data needs to live somewhere, right? I am looking for the safety assessment. Oh, I know how to get there. I think. This one. Oh, I can't open this. Cancel. Job safety. Oh, it has no SFS in it. Great. I'll just do it this way. Oh, bundles in action. No. Okay. If we were to build this, so it's just a screen, just launch the screen. I don't even need to do a get. I don't need to do anything. It just is attached to the form. And then because the form is attached to the work order, that's how I have access to this flow. However, it does nothing, right? This data goes nowhere. So we would have to look at the way that this form is and then build an object to store all the data. And I was just thinking about it the other day. I'm like, technically, if I can't save it in a PDF, can't I just put this on a service document, all this data, as long as this object is a child of the work order, why wouldn't I just be able to add it to a service document?
You would.
I think it would. But it's a wonder though. Hold, please hold. Is it? Let's look at service doc. Yeah, it might be able to do it in like a related record. It's not even service document. It's
I
called
think that's
document builder.
Doc Builder. Yeah, I think it's like a table of related
Of
records.
fields. But so let's look at the work order template and see what kind of fit. And then there's also they're building something anyways. So why would I try to figure out a hack in the meantime, just because I don't want to wait 6 months. But anyway, I still like to figure out hacks anyway. So here are the fields. Yeah, see, I can look up, I can't look down. So if it's a child, I won't necessarily be able to do it
Well,
unless if I do that fancy,
yeah, go back
no,
to your
like
components. Is there table?
grid.
I think that's just for photos. Maybe.
Let's just see. Components. Okay, fine.
I'm pretty sure we had that recent project where we put the assets on there. We absolutely can do child records.
Well, here's a
One row
maintenance
each.
plan. Yeah, maintenance plan is tied to.
That's where the work order came from.
That's where it came from, exactly.
But if it's not a grid component that you chose, there's definitely a way to get children.
Like, yeah, because I remember the table component in the service report. Related record table.
There you go.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Sometimes you just got to look more than once. So there's the action plans form. So obviously the form data isn't there. It's just the form name.
Which one? But yeah, to your point, if you make the child object is the safety report and it has all that street, city, state stuff, it might look funny in one row. And I don't
Yeah.
know if your table can wrap, or here's a table with these fields from it, and here's another table with these fields from it, the same object, while you're
Might be okay.
Okay.
Yep. One of the key pieces that I've been excited about for these forms is, let's go back to the one that works. Is this my work order one? Yes. It's the component for the images. So file, is it file or image? Okay. I'm 90% sure it's upload image, but let's just put in file here just for kicks and see what happens. We need to know the difference between the two. Because the cool thing about the upload image, or the promise that is associated to the upload image, is that these components now work, where we can specifically, the key thing was we need to shrink the document, compress it, and make it not as big.
Can iOS upload anything besides an image yet?
I don't know.
I thought at one point we could
I don't know.
only upload an image
Yeah.
from an iOS.
From an iOS. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna add both to these and just see what happens.
There is that upload and annotate LWC they're pushing.
They were, and I don't know, that would be awesome.
I
I
just
don't know where.
I just popped you a link on the side about.
What do you mean on the side?
Oh,
in Slack?
sorry. Yeah, but I'll put it in this meeting.
Thank you. Perfect. Oh, what's that?
And again, I was always disappointed about LWC implementations where it's like, oh, we're finally getting them for flows. It's wah, wah. No, you can get them to put on the app. So what, where, and how this thing ends up and how you're launching it, you're out there in the
Yeah.
app. You launch this, but you can upload and annotate. Right.
I believe I heard a rumor that this is going to get smushed with data capture, I think. But you're right. About this one, I don't know if does this even exist anymore, I wonder? I don't know if it exists. Oh, here,
Right.
LWC samples
GitHub.
in the GitHub. I wonder what is in there now. So I don't think, let's see what's in here. Let's go into our mobile actions and see. No, annotate LWC. So I can see if I can install this into this org and see what that looks like. But yeah, because I've heard refreshing LWCs, like if there's like a new update that you need to make, it's really hard to do. You can't just like, yeah, like Melissa, what your experience was, like just reset the not cleared cache metadata. It feels like you might have to revoke the token and force everybody to log out and log in again.
Oh.
Just for kicks, the forced log out, I'm going all over the place today, aren't I? I can't remember if it's, yeah, it is here. No, it's not. No, it's not. Connected apps. Manage connected apps. There was a way that we could force log out everybody. And I could have sworn that it was this one where you could just like press revoke. It's not this. Where is that? Manage connected apps. I was expecting to see something like related here to see all of the users. Do you remember where that is?
I don't know, but that would be enough. I've never seen that.
Come on. I could have. I could have sworn it was this one.
What is that? Salesforce Field Service. What's that? I can't read your screen very well.
Oh, maybe you were right. There you go. You were right. Okay, connected apps OAuth usage. Hold on. Are you telling me OAuth usage? Interesting. Okay, so let's just take a step back. So I think you're right. I found it. So it is connected apps OAuth usage. So you would go into Field Service iOS and you would see how many users are logged in to the app. And then when you click on this, of course, we're in Lightning, there would be a longer list because you have all the users. Sometimes there was one client I went to and the use count was like super high. And it seemed like the ones that had a super high use count had issues logging in or had issues uploading files or something like that. So I literally revoked the token and it logged them out and logged them back in, and then they had no more issues. And I think like someone did that recently, like Bruce, I could have sworn Scott told us that with one client that was part of their release readiness for everybody uploaded. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, basically anytime he makes big changes from the back. And while you were finding it here on the screen live, I was digging in our Slack and pasted to you exactly what you just found, exactly in his words, dating back to 2020.
Get out of here.
No,
wow.
It's true.
That's digging in the crates there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be something like big to manage, just like having this mobile app as another tool that you have to manage in the whole like collection of technology for your org, right? So, okay, so that was a sidebar because we get squirreled. And we are laughing because we all know it's true. Okay, so where was I? Right, upload image. So I do want to see what the difference is between each of these. Not really going to do anything except I do want to set what the related record ID is of the image that I upload. So my assumption is that this is going to be the work order. So I'm going to make this be record ID. And then same thing with upload file. Same thing, order. And the other piece I wanted to know was, how do you rename the file? How do you add a description? I think that's on the roadmap too, but I don't see anything here that says I'm going to manually. Yeah, I don't have anything. I've got content documents. That.
I think it's always a difficult, tricky to control because there are those toggles that allow multiples, right? So
Mhm.
the minute you can shoot video or tag things from your gallery, you're not working in a world of this file anymore. It's these files. What would you offer to rename them, like _0, _1 or something for each one that comes in? What if they chose 101 file?
Right.
Yeah, it's dodgeball.
It is. So I'm going to just save as a new version. I don't know how to handle those files. The last time that I ran this, no idea. And I'm going to just re-add that document or that form because I'm already completed. I'm going to just add a new form. Okay. The reason why I'm doing it this way instead of adding another one is I'm getting some glorious error. Another squirrel moment. Bear with me while I just use this time to clear my cache metadata and hope for the best.
I mean, on the recent behavior of mobile, has anybody else
Mhm.
noticed that possibly when there are failed uploads, the experience of the sort of red number on the shoulder of the profile icon may not be as consistent as you'd imagine? Like in the past, that was your indication there was trouble. There was
Yeah.
like failed uploads. But I've definitely had a couple of times recently where things truly didn't write to the platform, where they wrote delayed, but there was no little badge or number over the
Mm.
profile.
Thanks. Oh, you seen this error before? Action could not be performed. Schedule optimization incomplete. So I have the exact same error when I check for rules validation too. I have no idea.
Um,
It just started this morning.
Is ESO turned on and do you have those optimization requests?
I totally turned it off because I
Oh.
totally thought that's what it was. So I turned it off, but that didn't do anything. No idea.
These kept up, is what you're saying. So I guess while it was on, if you had those requests, is there any more detail?
I was okay.
You were okay while it was on. Wait, then why'd you turn it?
I'm sorry. Yesterday I was okay and it was on. Right. And
Okay.
then this morning I'm on and I'm trying to schedule new appointments to myself and I couldn't do it. And I was like, what the hell is that? I've never seen this before. I had to populate the scheduled start and end and change the status to scheduled and then create my assigned resource in order to
Like
assign it.
scheduling appointments would not work until you slow boated it. Wow. And you didn't add
I
any
know.
new automation on the SA?
I
Nothing
don't
new.
think so.
I might suggest to
Um,
trap a debug log on that user and
yeah.
watch it carefully
Yeah.
and yell yikes.
And then, yeah, it's exactly. All right, here we go. Let's try. Let's see what happens. Is it even going to load? Pray to the gods. And then the last piece that I wanted to check too was like the signature. It's like signature might be cool. So we're not necessarily looking to replace the service document, but there might be some times where it's like a safety assessment that you have to sign off on, or, oh, great. So something tells me it's the file one. So I'm going to go back into this file component.
And this, just so we all understand together, this flow is one of your form flows, or this is not a form flow.
This is a data capture flow.
It
Yes.
is a data capture flow.
Correct. Yes.
And you're trying to add, and also give me a photo.
Yes. And also
So-
give me a photo. So this upload file photo is not supported in data capture.
Welcome.
Okay. So I'm going to just delete it. And then done. See, there's a new version, save. So I think that's why we didn't get that preview. So let's just try and see.
Are you saying there is a different one that is, or to date we cannot upload files with it?
Cannot upload files, only images.
Only images, not files. Okay.
Correct. Which again, I think supports what Melissa was saying before. We really could only upload files images anyways. So we were using the file uploader, but we could really only upload JPEGs, PNG, right? Images, right?
Yeah, that was my iOS thing. Because I think you could do it with an Android. I think you could do a file through an Android. Just iOS, the iOS app won't let you get it to anything else besides images.
So it's just a skinnier straw. A skinnier straw with a more purposeful name. Upload images, because that's all we'll support. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe the uploading files for Android was just one of those happy incidents that you just get with Android. Just iOS didn't support it. Yeah, they probably just changed it. Okay, sync complete. Here we go. Form, start. Show me the money. Sweet. So take a photo. There was one.
But isn't it interesting? There was also choose files.
Yes. Yeah. Cool. I can upload like a marketing person. Oh, but this is an image too.
Yeah,
No, these are all screenshots.
Yeah. So they're image files on your device that aren't in the camera roll. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh. Data capture is complete. Okay. Do I have any files though? Feed. No. Related.
Yeah. And I know it's getting close, but you also mentioned signature. So that to my suggestion earlier, you might use it for customer facing something. Like exactly as you said, here's the safety report. I need someone to sign off on this. Hi, we arrived. Can you sign me into the site?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Something like that. That's exactly the use case I was thinking of. Yeah. So that's pretty fun. Okay. So let's try signature. Parent record ID. Interesting.
Like where you want the images to land.
Yeah.
So it's
so the image of the picture too of the signature,
you can. I have signed off on the safety report. I have signed off on the work order.
Yeah. I don't know what it would be, but I'm going to add both of them and see what happens. Save. Did I get everything though? Shoot. Oh, but look, I've got the same no preview. I bet you it's not supported.
Okay.
That's going to be my guess. And then we'll shut it down on that note, but I'll run it in the meantime and start to say my farewells. Anybody else have any questions about what we saw or any ideas of what else you want to see next? Okay, activate it. No. Any ideas on what you want to see next? Tell you where I was thinking about going. Presuming I can get scheduling in order, I was going to get into some scheduling optimization stuff, basic inventory. Again, the whole point is to get customers or get an environment set up so that you can start demoing to customers the end-to-end features of field service. So I thought, yeah, some basic inventory stuff would be good and some basic optimization stuff would be good. Now, presuming I get scheduling back up and running. And then eventually I'll end up getting into Agentforce, but I don't know if I'm there yet. I think I still need to set up ESO for that. Okay, so I'll just stick with the agenda and then I'll let you know. I'll send an email as I did today on what we plan to talk about. And I appreciate you all hopping on with me today. Fun times.
Thank you. Thank you. This was good.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.